Hello and welcome to our Aries season reading. I have tried to do this reading multiple times this week. Yesterday I got like 4 questions in and I just hit a wall. So I have every confidence that today is going to be exactly what it needs to be. There's clearly some sort of reason why I wasn't supposed to get this out until today. And these questions are going to be like a little bit more general. I'm doing something unusual, which this video is available for everyone. And then for more specifics about your life and more specifics about relationships, money, creativity, career, health, perhaps, I'm going to do a second video for premium subscribers. So if you're on Substack, you can just scroll down. If you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description for the video. You can go to my Substack. And as we get more into this reading, I think we'll get a better idea of what the specific reading is going to be about, because I haven't written those questions yet. I wanted to see what came forward for more overarching themes. And this reading is going to be, we'll still talk about practical life areas and relationships and responsibility, integration, all of those yummy things. What else was I going to say? Oh, I have the Akashic Records open for our collective. So whoever you are, whenever you're watching this video, you are included in this energy, and there is Akashic healing and guidance being channeled directly to you. And I've shuffled the deck. So we'll go ahead and get started. Our first question, we have 3 questions that are about the core or overarching and overarching themes of this Aries season. What is the defining energy of this Aries season and astrological new year? And of course, this is the new year, finally the new year, as far as like the seasons and the earth goes. And we've had a lot of new starts. Of course, I feel like every couple weeks, it's like, we're starting something brand new. But like we're really hitting that hard with Aries season. We have the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, the Aries card. And I don't mean to say that God damn it, these cards fell on the floor. So what is the defining energy of this Aries season and astrological new year? I don't usually read reversals, but the way that I picked these cards up was very specific. So I'm going to go with that. We have the 3 of Cups, the 5 of Swords reversed, and then the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. So the 3 of Cups is about community and celebration. This is feeling held and supported by the people around you. And you can see how much abundance is in this card. There's so much growing around them. There's like, I can't tell what kind of plants those are, but there's something blooming. And one of these people is holding grapes. They've got their cups raised. So this is such a pleasant, fun, sweet energy. This is very much, it's cups, so it's emotions and joy and celebration. But it also feels very embodied because of how much like physical goodness is surrounding them. And then the 5 of Swords reversed feels like if you have been coming up against something that has just seemed like no matter what you do, it has not been working out. Like if you've felt like you just keep hitting a wall, and this could be in one area or multiple areas, this energy is resolving. This energy of feeling like the 5 of Swords is like a no-win situation, or like a victory, but at what cost? And so I am doing my reading outside. I have my mic on, but I don't know how loud the cars and trucks going by are going to be. So I might pause and edit these moments out. Okay. So yeah, there's something that is shifting, some sort of block that's dissolving and being removed, and that is supporting you in this emperor energy of structure and stability. And I mean, there's such an energy of like effectiveness here too. And I like that we got, I mean, the cups Three of Cups, the Four, the Emperor, which is four in the major arcana, and then the Five of Swords, um, feels again like just a reinforcement of this forward movement and of this structure. But you're, as this Emperor energy, you're like not this taciturn, bossy, strict Emperor. You're like this celebratory, supportive, um, like ruling from a place of interconnectedness and like feeling like you are this backbone of your community. I like that. That's really supportive energy. So you have the structure in place to be able to revel in the pleasure of your experience. What is beginning or opening that you may not fully recognize yet? So what is beginning? God, this chair is squeaky. What is beginning or opening that we may not fully recognize yet? Knight of Pentacles. So I don't know what else we're going to get, but right away it's feeling like your hard work is paying off. And the Ace of Cups. Yeah, so you have been, and the Chariot underneath that, you have been really investing in your embodiment, whatever spiritual practices you've been doing. And I include within that, anything. When I say spiritual practices, I'm not separating out any like somatic work, or like if you've been going to the gym and lifting weights, or if you've been doing yoga. I mean, we generally associate yoga with more of a spiritual practice, but like any practice you've been doing to connect with your physical body. And again, I feel like this is going to come up a lot, and it just comes up a lot for me in general, but like connecting with the pleasure of your experience as a human in a human body has been laying the groundwork for your future. You have been investing in the reality that you're creating. So any practices, whether they are directly tied to your physical embodiment, or anything you've been doing around, like investing in your financial stability, or anything tied to, the Pentacles, Earth, your time, your energy, your money, whatever. Okay, yeah, let me qualify this. Literally, whatever practices you've been doing have been investing in this energy, whether or not you've been conscious or aware of that. And I feel like you have been. But you have been planting and tending the soil and the fields, laying the groundwork for this Ace of Cups. Oh, God. He really wants to be on the ground. So you have been, I don't like the word perfecting, but that's what's coming to mind. This structure for you to hold this Ace of Cups energy, the connection to your divinity, and the overflowing of goodness and love, the knowing of yourself as connected to everything. Yeah, I mean, the Ace of Cups is this like overflowing of consciousness and awareness, specifically in knowing ourselves as love and as connected to everything around us being made of that same stuff, however you want to think about it. Yeah, just being at feeling at one with the divinity that is inherent, like makes up the fabric of our experience, is inherent in every element of our experience. So you this is the beginning or opening that you may not fully recognize yet. So this might still be feeling really ordinary to you. And I think that's kind of an indicator of how significant it is, because it isn't some grand shift, or it's not like you've dropped acid and you've gone on this wild trip and you feel like a totally different person. It is very ordinary and embodied, and that is what's making it so powerful, because it is just like kind of waking up and realizing, like, oh, this is my life. I'm like, I really fucking like this. Like, I feel really safe and fulfilled in my everyday experience. um which, yeah, can be like, maybe to a past version of yourself would have felt very anticlimactic, but it is it is everything. It's being fully embodied in your present experience. Where is forward movement actually supported right now? So where are you supported in forward movement? The rest of the question says, and where are you being impulsive instead of aligned? And I really don't like that. I don't think that I don't appreciate the like, we're not going to ask that, because I think if you are being impulsive instead of aligned, that will come out in the cards. But I'm not going to go into this assuming impulsivity or misalignment, because that's not at all the energy of this reading. So, where is forward movement supported for you right now? Because we know that there's forward movement happening. We know that there's new beginnings. This whole year, like I said, has felt like new beginning after new beginning. And there's still been this energy of like, not quite yet. And it feels like this Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, the astrological new year happening with the sun finally moving into Aries, like all of these planets, I mean, almost everything shifting into Aries. Mars is still in Pisces. But it feels like, okay, we've been like revving, and now we're ready to go. So forward movement is supported in the Four of Cups, the Hermit, and the Knight of Cups. So if you have been feeling, I mean, this this kind of epitomizes what I was just saying about or like an attitude towards the feeling of like, you keep getting prepped for something that doesn't feel like it's happening yet. It's like you've been teetering on the edge and like, fuck, when are you finally going to like you're in a roller coaster and you're at the very top, and they keep faking you out like you're about to go, and it just hasn't happened. So that can feel very much like this Four of Cups energy of look at these three cups. This person is kind of preoccupied by these things that haven't been working or haven't been happening. And this fourth cup, the Ace of Cups, which, love that we just got that for a previous question. Oh my God, yes, this ties so well into that, because the Ace of Cups was part of the beginning or opening that you may not fully recognize yet. That is literally, oh my God, literally what is happening in this card. This person is not recognizing this cup that's being offered to them, this miracle, this divine hand reaching out to them, because they're looking at these three cups that are like, no longer satisfying them. God, I love that. That's so fucking cool. So you are being supported in, I mean, we already know, like, you're claiming this Ace of Cups. Um, Literally, you have the physical support and structure to connect to that energy and to really, I mean, you were never not that energy, but to really allow that flow. And then we have the Hermit. So I love the Hermit because my favorite card is the Star, and the Hermit has the Star and this little lantern here. So the Hermit is all about know thyself, inward exploration, and like going within to investigate. I mean, like, that is where we are the 0 point, like investigating internally rather than looking externally to try to like solve or make things happen. Starting with yourself first. And the Star is healing and wholeness. So the Hermit is lighting their internal exploration with this energy of compassion and integration. So you're very much being supported in illuminating and welcoming home more and more of these aspects of self that have been in the darkness. So shadow integration. And then finally, we have the Knight of Cups. Um, so, I mean, this is very much, this is a card of forward movement. This Knight is going, like, is advancing with this cup held out. And, this cup can be about romance, and it can also be about Christ consciousness. So I'm getting this feeling of like, yeah, what I want to say is that like they're the same thing, and that's not at all true just because of how we use language. But what I mean is the feeling of being so open-hearted and receptive to love. So offering yourself freely and receiving love freely from others. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how to put this or like what I want to say about it, but I've just been thinking a lot lately about um, being in that place of like open-hearted receptivity and sorry, motorcycle. That place of giving and receiving, like that flow, and how like it's safe to be in that place, like it's safe to be adored and to receive that and extend that back. um and that can just be like, you don't have to moralize that, and you don't have to necessarily like define it or figure it out. You can be in that place if you want to be. You can be in that place all the time. You can see that goodness in other people and receive that goodness from them. And it's not, you're not like making it up or imagining it if you feel that way, regardless of someone else's actions. Like, I think that is, again, I've been trying to figure out like how do we even like explain Christ consciousness? What does that mean to me? And I think it's that feeling of unconditional love, regardless of, you don't need proof from other people to feel that way, to feel unconditional love from them and for them, because it's always there for us all the time. Okay, hope that didn't get too abstract, but that is the forward movement that's supported right now, and it makes sense that, yeah, I mean, that whole card sequence, holy shit. All of that, yeah. I feel like that's the culmination of the Four of Cups, the Hermit, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so these next questions are specifically about clarity and integration around the transition from Pisces to Aries. Like I said, so many of the like planets and points moving into Aries from Pisces. What truth or insight is becoming undeniable at this time? So we're moving from the like watery, no boundaries, one with everything, like soupy consciousness of Pisces into the very like individuated oh, that's too many cards. Come on, guys. Fiery initiatory Aries energy. So what truth or insight is becoming undeniable at this time? Please don't fall. Interesting. Okay, we have the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. So the Page of Cups is a reconnection to your inner child, specifically around creativity and imagination. So you can see this page has the fish in the cup, and they're looking directly at it, they're acknowledging it. And so this can be working with your dreams, working with visualization, but primarily, however you are engaging with this energy, it's that connection to play and innocence, especially when it comes to your emotions. So there might be things that are like you're getting a sense of clarity or truth around the things that make you kind of feel like a kid again, which can be really disconcerting, but also like a lot of pleasure in that. Um, yeah, I mean, pleasure and play is like that's kind of at the heart of this energy. And then we have the Page of Swords. So this is also, because it's a page, a sense of curiosity and investigation. It's like asking why, trying to understand, not so much like in a very innocent way. So sometimes with this card, I read it as um, like being overly protective based on the past, because you can see this person. Oh God, I always do the wrong side. So this person's looking backwards and they're moving forwards and they've got their sword up. So it's kind of like they're preoccupied by what has happened to them in the past and are like trying to protect themselves with that. But the sense that I'm getting from this energy with this specific spread in question is more of a sense of, because you do have this inner child, sorry guys, this inner child sense of curiosity and play and creativity. It's more like looking at things even from the past, um, in a new light, filtered through this inner child who is in a place of safety, and security, because we have to have safety and security to be able to connect to that like playful, creative part of us. So this is a very like fresh and light energy as far as how you are experiencing your emotions and the ways that you are, like the thought patterns that you're having around them. So the cups being how you literally feel, and the swords being how you are interpreting those feelings. What conclusions are you drawing? Um, this can also be, okay, this is something that has kind of come up, like little pings of this have come up for me frequently the last little bit. Rather than seeing, like, there's so much information out there for us about how trauma has affected us. And so it feels like, I've talked about on my Substack being off of social media, and I've kind of like dipped my toe back in a couple of times since the last like big not big, but like the last time I wrote about this. Um, and it's so readily available for us, information about like, oh well, my part of my personality formed this way because of trauma. And yes, but I'll give a specific example so that this is a little more concrete. Like I saw a video yesterday that was saying when our caregivers are inconsistent and unreliable, we have to only see them. Like as a child, we develop this like defense mechanism that means we only see the best parts of them. So as an adult, if you're the kind of person that you meet somebody and you just assume good things about people, it was connecting that back to a trauma response of like when your parent, swings wildly, like to protect yourself, you must only see the good parts of them. I think that makes like you'll know what I'm talking about. The video went more in depth, and there were so many people in the comments being like, "God damn it, fuck!" Like, yes, this is so true, but like feeling just so disappointed by that. And you know what? Like, yes, and I love that I'm someone that goes into situations expecting to see the best in people. And I know that that does not mean that I am naive. I choose that. I choose that perspective. My discernment has been hard won, and I I don't just go into new situations or new people blindly. I am very aware of like paying attention to what the data is showing me about them. And yet I have that balance, and yet I still choose to expect good things from people. And so this has been very long-winded, but um that's okay. Our last card is the Seven of Swords, and like these three cards I feel like are referring to exactly this, that you can have this discernment. The Seven of Swords is about, holding some things back or being strategic. Sometimes it's hiding something or deception. And in this case, with this particular spread and this question, the truth or insight that's becoming undeniable at this time is that you can choose to see yourself in the best possible light and appreciate the way that you are. Um, and that doesn't mean that you're going into situations blindly. Yes. I feel like I want to keep talking, but I think I'll just continue to repeat myself, and like I'm going to trust that I've said what I need to say about that instead of like beating a dead horse. So, what confusion, illusion, or emotional residue are you being asked to clear before moving forward? What confusion, illusion, or emotional residue is being cleared before you move forward? And, I phrase this question two different ways. So maybe this is something you're asked to look at, but this is not something that requires, we'll look at the cards, but this doesn't feel like something that requires great effort from you. It's more of like this is clearing. So just, hey, by the way, you can relax around this because you've done what you needed to do. And let's see what cards we got. Interesting. The other two pages. What? Okay. Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Fascinating. Okay. What confusion, illusion, or residue is being cleared? Is clearing the way for you to move forward? Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is this like youthful energy around embodiment, money, energy, time, like anything surrounding our concrete physical reality. And the Page of Wands is the same kind of youthful and sometimes naive energy around like eros and creativity and passion. So I feel like this is this energy is being cleared for you because you are already in higher levels of embodiment around your physical reality and your erotic energy. So this kind of like sense of awe that we see in both of these pages is like that's maturing for you. And then we have the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, and this is like kind of exactly what I was saying as I was shuffling about these things are clearing. This is not a prescription for you to go out and do a bunch of heavy work. These things are just naturally shifting. So, yeah, bringing your awareness to it is really helpful because as you are kind of gently holding these like energies, you'll be able to watch them clear. And especially with this 10 of Wands, I mean, this is not a card. This is a card of like, you're doing too much. Let it go. So the remedy for the 10 of Wands is not do more work to let go. It's the opposite. It's like you can just like, I'm trying to say something other than just let go because it's when you're holding on or you're feeling burdened, it's almost never that easy. So that's why I say like you don't have to do anything. This is not this is just like, hey, these things are getting lighter and easier for you. And then with the 8 of Swords, Rachel, who I like always shout out, Rachel McNasser, talks about this card being like the cocoon card. So like traditionally this is talking about how feeling trapped in a situation comes down to our perspective, and we really have the agency to extricate ourselves and walk away. We're not really tied up. But I love her interpretation of this being like when a spider is about to molt, they like, I don't know, she talks about a tarantula that she had, I think, or has as a pet, and before it like crawls out of its old skin, it has to fasten its legs down um, so that it can leave its old skin behind. So this 8 of Swords is kind of like that, like the cocoon has to stay in place so that you can climb out of it as the butterfly, your transformed self. And again, that's not like the butterfly is not holding the cocoon in place. It's not doing any effort. It's the effort is focused entirely on coming out as this new version of itself. Like the anchors are doing the work, and all it has to do is move forward. So yeah, I feel like that's really clear. So that the confusion, illusion, and residue is being cleared on its own. So, what are you being asked to take responsibility for in how you show up or move? These questions are about action and responsibility. What are you being asked to take responsibility for in how you show up in your life? And this question does feel kind of heavy, so I'm wondering if I'm just curious what will eventually come out because it's not common. Like usually we get an answer more quickly than this. Okay. 10 of Cups. All right. Let's see. Ten of Cups, the Star, the Queen of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. Okay. What are you being asked to take responsibility for and how you show up? Okay, the Ten of Cups and the Star, gorgeous. I mean, these are two of my favorite cards in the deck. This feels like, what are you being asked to take responsibility for and how you show up? Um, I mean, I feel like this is, I, I don't know if I've been saying this or I've just been thinking it, but like, I think I've said this already, that like you're safe to be happy. You are safe to feel safe. Like you can exist as you are and really let it sink in that you are okay. Um, yeah, you don't have to, like, if you notice yourself kind of searching for, some way that I notice with myself, I think I did mention this, like trying to moralize my enjoyment. Like, okay, I'm really enjoying this thing, but am I being responsible with how I'm enjoying it? Like, am I not, let me make sure I'm not like accidentally going to hurt someone, or I don't have ulterior motives. And I think this is saying, like, you are, the way to take responsibility for your happiness is to really fully be with it, and recognize that, like, this is the healing that you asked for. Um, this collective, if you relate to having moved through really intense dark night of the soul, for me, it was mixed in with my Saturn return. That might not be the case for you, but I feel like that's a common theme that I've, in my interactions with people in this space. We seem to share some of that, of like moving through a really intense dark time. And the Star is like, in tarot, that's the thing that keeps you going. And I have found certainly that it has shifted. Like at its core, it stayed the same, but the way that I interpret it, or the way that I thought it was going to look, has drastically shifted, which has been a gift. I'm not attached to it in the same way. Um, okay, get back on track. But yeah, how you're being asked to take responsibility for how you show up or move is like, let this be. You've got, like, when you're feeling, when you are encountering this healing in real life, in this fullness of love and joy and community, the most responsible thing you can do for your happiness is be with it rather than searching out. And that's, I think, what these remaining cards are speaking to. The Queen of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. Um, this is taking responsibility for the part of you that's like bracing, and is also like, okay, but what about all of these other things? Like, so you have what's currently happening in your present, which is the Star and the Ten of Cups. And then the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Cups is you being like, okay, but like, I've been through so much. I'm like battle scarred. And maybe I should consider all of these other different options, like how this could possibly hurt me in the future. Like, how is this going to end? Or what else could come of this? And your Queen of Swords is your discernment, because she's moved on. Like, she has not moved on. And also, I'll say, because it's relevant, we got the Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Um, she has this tassel on her wrist because she has freed herself from the Eight of Swords. I think I said swords before, not wands. The Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Like, you've made your way out of the cocoon. You have absolutely earned the embodied discernment. Um, and this isn't just the intellectual wisdom of the King of Swords. This is the Queen of Swords, where you feel it in your body. You can trust yourself to know, and you will know in the present moment, not from keeping not from hypervigilance or like considering all these other options. You will know physically in the present moment because your body is speaking to you, and you have lived through the experiences that have earned you the discernment that you have. So you can be present with joy. And the experiences that you're having now are both the culmination of this healing and the experiences of healing. Like, they are experiences that are bringing you healing, and they're because of the healing you've done. Okay, what kind of action is aligned right now? Okay, this is similar to the forward movement question. But let's still ask, because if you're feeling all of the fire energy that we have right now, with the year of the fire horse and all of these signs we have, or all of the planets we have in Aries right now, it's possible you might feel, if you're feeling impulsive or chaotic, what can you orient towards if you're feeling like you need to take some sort of action, but you're not sure if it's just action for action's sake? And I will say I'm shocked that I cannot relate to this, because I thought, I always have things that I think, and then the astrology comes and I'm like, well, I was wrong about that. I thought I was going to be like all over the place this season, and I've still been needing just as much rest as I did before. Anyways, okay. What kind of action is aligned right now? Knight of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. I mean, the Knight of Swords is like, both of these are very action oriented cards. So the Knight of Swords is more about like intellectual and mental action, like making choices. Interesting. Okay, so I'm feeling this combination as, I'm reading this as, so this Knight of Swords, he is full steam ahead, but he's going towards the past. He is writing off back that way. He's not writing into the future. So I'm feeling this as culling anything as you are reflecting on your past, or anything old that is coming up for you. So if you're seeing like echoes of old situations, if you are, just in your perception, your mind reflecting on the past, or yeah, like if you are looking at your beliefs or your perceptions based on like old templates or things that you've you are growing through or growing away from, you can prune these patterns and thoughts and perceptions through the lens of this Ace of Wands. So let me try to say what I mean more clearly, because I feel like that's still kind of abstract. Um, you can be, you can cut away what no longer serves your connection to this spark, to your fire, your passion, your eros, your creativity, um, your connection to your life force. So this Knight of Swords is charging into the past with his sword raised to cut down. And we have the butterflies here on the horse. Like, the butterflies are recurring theme with the swords when we get into the court cards, the knight, the queen, and the king specifically. You can be, I don't, the word brutal keeps coming to my mind, and there's a better word than that, but I'm just going to say brutal because that's what's coming through. And yeah, I don't want to say brutal or harsh, but like, you can chop some shit up, like you can cut some shit away in service of this connection to your fire and what makes you feel alive. You can let go of anything that's weighing you down. Yeah, so what kind of action is aligned right now? Yeah, and swords are also about your boundaries. So being really protective of your fire. Yeah, you can take any actions where you're cutting away or um, setting up protection for your connection to that flow of your erotic energy. And I don't think I've said this yet. This reading, I feel like I always say this, but it doesn't. Erotic energy is about so much more than just sex, although sex is included in it. But it's like our feeling of aliveness. Okay, so we have two more questions. And this is where we're getting into our practical, we're asking about relationships and work and money. So in relationships, what pattern is being activated or challenged right now? And we will ask more, we'll ask more specific questions about relationships and like what's coming in for you practically in the second video. So in relationships, what pattern is being activated or challenged right now? Oh my God. Temperance and the Four of Swords. So temperance is about blending fire and water. It's about alchemy. And yeah, I mean, it is about blending two things that appear to be opposing elements. So transcending binaries by looking at the whole picture, like seeing everything as part of one whole rather than like, just two extremes, or rather than picking a point along the spectrum, seeing it as a circle rather than a straight line with two opposites at each end. Yeah, and there's a lot of sun imagery on this card, which is appropriate for Aries season. We have the sun rising in the background, and then the sun on the angel's head. And like, this is such a beautiful relationship card because it does have the Two of Cups on it. So this is like the big leagues. This isn't just the Two of Cups where like, you're being mirrored and recognized and something is extended, but this is that, plus you are doing deep alchemical work in your relationships. Because regardless of what's going on in the physical world, you know whether it seems like it's just light and fun or whether it's heavy and serious, whatever your intentions or your actions on the surface, what is going on for you energetically is this deep alchemical transformation. And so, like I said, I mean, that might look like accepting more play and pleasure and, like Cab's coming up in this reading, just being with the joy and the pleasure that is here for you right now without trying to um, problem solve where there are no problems, or like anticipate future problems, or figure out like what's gonna happen in a month or 3 months or like down the road. Because alchemy is happening right now in this present moment. It's not happening in in anticipation, or it's happening because you are present with what is. I don't remember where I was going with that. I think I finished that thought. And yeah, I mean, exactly. The four of swords very much reinforcing that of like just rest. Rest. And I love this imagery up in the stained glass window behind this person in the Four of Cups. um it's, this card is absolutely like the more that you rest and are still, the more space you have to receive. So yeah, that feels like a very strong recurring theme in this reading. Like you can be, just be, receive the goodness that's coming towards you, and that is what's alchemizing shadow material for you right now, is opening to this pleasure and happiness, receiving. Okay, our last question: in work, creativity, or money, where should your energy be focused to create real momentum? And I'm going to adjust this question because I think the momentum is already here for you. So we're going to say instead, where should you place your focus to flow with the momentum that's showing up to support you in work, creativity, and money? Ooh, interesting. That's a very wild combo. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups and the Three of Wands. Okay, so the Three of Wands is about limitless possibilities because this person has put out their intention into the universe. And there are these, I don't know how well you guys can see this, there are ships coming back on this ocean, which is yellow. So, like, you got to know it's an ocean to know it's an ocean. But, anyways, they're standing on this overlook. They've sent out these ships, and we don't know if the ships are coming or going. So, there is a lot of unknown in this card. It's kind of like is it Schrodinger's box or Schrodinger's cat? Like, you don't know until you look what the outcome is. And the Seven of Cups is about all of these possibilities. So this is saying, this is such a classic tarot. Our question is, where should we focus our energy to work with the momentum, to flow with the momentum that we have in work, creativity, or money? And the tarot is like, yes. Where do you want to put your focus? The Seven of Cups is about dreaming. And the Three of Wands is about, like, the world is your oyster. You everything is on the horizon for you. Um, yeah, classic tarot, man. What do you want? What do you want? You get to decide. Dream, dream big. Yeah, like, truly, again, it sounds so trite, but truly, like, what do you want to focus on? What do you want? Like, re-examine what you have always wanted, and like, you can expand that, you can shift directions, um but sit with what it is that makes you feel alive, and like, what do you like to dream about or fantasize about? um yeah, I think this is definitely saying, like, the momentum is here. And so focus your energy on where you want to be going. That's so funny. All right. Like I said, we're going to do a more specific reading based on these answers. So, like, we'll get more into, we'll ask more specifically about work, creativity, and money individually. We'll dig more into that relationship pattern um, and maybe get some more specifics for, how, like, more practical suggestions for how you can sit with the happiness that is in your life without trying to like overanalyze it or solve it. Yeah, so I'm excited to see what comes up in that second reading. Like I said, if you're on Substack, it'll be down below, or on YouTube, you can go to my Substack and the link in the description. But yeah, I mean, you're fucking doing it, man. You've been doing the work, and everything is paying off for you, and you are so supported and loved. And I'm glad you're here with me. So thank you for being here.